Hi, Ken Landgraf here, Bronze Age comic book artist, having worked at DC Comics and Marvel and many other publishing companies. I had worked as an assistant to Gil Kane in the 1970s, mostly working on Conan. I didn't really do a lot of drawing, but I helped him break down things. I also read the books and broke them down into small pictures. But I ended up at first getting paid as an assistant, but then I decided that I would rather have Gil Kane's layouts and his anatomy studies. So I worked out a deal with him where I could Xerox and photocopy everything he had at the time. So here we see a page out of his anatomy practices. And this is all really cool because he really knew the anatomy. Now, how did he learn this? He would look at books, he looked at photographs, he looked at toy action figures like Captain Action. He looked at that big Jim toy from the 1960s, early 70s. And he studied George Bridgman. He loved Vern Hogarth. He liked to study comic book artists. He loved Lou Fine, but he also loved Reed Crandall. And this is probably from a photograph of a Muscle Man magazine right here. So he would start every day. This looks like a George Bridgman drawing, so I think he looked at that. I like how he did the knees here, like this real solid block. And it's amazing figure drawing here of the planes of the body. Here's one of his famous below angle face shots. You see the nose underneath. That's a very difficult shot to draw. One time some fans were saying something to Gil about that, like why you always draw up the nose shot, and he got rather mad and he said because it took me years to learn how to draw that, and I'll be darned if I don't use it. So here he broke the back muscles down really nice. See the big masses. And I use a lot of his anatomy studies and ideas of making the figure in my how to draw books. Again, you can buy them on eBay, or you can email me and buy them directly from me. They're $20 each and $5 postage. Now, Gil, when he worked, not only did he draw from anatomy every day, but he used all that anatomy information. Like this is a layout from Spiderman that he gave me, and he's worked out all the figures really technically. Like, you know, he's got Spiderman diving down on the buildings. That's incredible. And he's got Spider-Man looking down on the buildings, crashing through a window. I mean, this is pretty heavy stuff. Yeah, let's see what else we got in this pile. There's always good stuff. Here we got a Marvel actual pencil page. This is not a construction. Gil would sketch out the page like I had showed you before, like with structure drawings. He called it construction figures. And here he would take this and put it on a light box, and this would be the pencil drawing over the construction sketch. So he did this for every single thing he drew. He wouldn't skip these stages. He told me, if you don't do this stage, you're planning on failing. I used to try to skip it at times when I was a young artist. And of course he was right, I failed every time. Either the hand didn't work out right. So here we see another page. I have this complete story actually of the Man-Wolf versus Spider-Man. And he's breaking into the office here of Jameson. And this is really cool because he moved a perspective over here. And he's got one here, you can see it here, he put a point. So all this stuff is coming from these points. And he always drew very hard to draw things like the arms here coming in towards you. That's called foreshortening, coming right towards them to grab them. So that's really cool. And even the little things like this hand over here, it's all like blocked in. And here we got another Spider-Man page. This is cool because when he drew Spider-Man here, he drew several legs. Because he was trying to figure out what's the best possible position. This one's pretty cool. You see it? It's like farther back. Well, this one here wasn't quite as dynamic. I'd have to look at the comic to see which one he actually used. But he even drew the skeleton face of the guy here with the cigar in the newsstand. Was the master of comic book anatomy. He's about the only guy that put out this kind of effort, if you ask me. I mean, he would actually practice for an hour every single day. and all that results would show up in his work. Okay, so I hope you learned something from that. Gil Kane was truly a master artist, one of my biggest influences. He's one of the best artists to study because you'll see everything looks like flayed anatomy.